Welcome to the Arizona Pickleball League podcast, presented by Jigsaw Health. And now, your hosts, Danny Jensen and the Orchard Security Guy.
What's up, Arizona Pickleball family? This is the chosen one, Danny Jensen, joined by at least one of my favorite people, OSG. And OSG, how's your Monday going?
Things are really good. We had our annual meeting with the commissioner and the owner, Patrick, and we actually had the Arizona Security Commission there with us, giving us what is literally the first 5-star security. I didn't know this. They were here last Tuesday night.
Oh, so they were watching you. Did they have...
Undercover. I didn't have no idea.
So you don't even know who it was?
Don't even know who it was, but we got our first 5-star. They'd never given it out before.
Okay. Well, that's
First
pretty good. It's pretty good.
5-star Arizona
Here at
Security
the
Commission
Orchard, we
LLC.
are a 5-star security team.
Yeah, just wanted to let everybody know.
Okay,
that.
that's good to know. Yeah, I mean, you can't really get much safer, and well, I could be safer right now because I have Kris Heddings sitting next to me. At any point, he might just reach over and slap me. Kris, welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. Today's an interesting day, so it's not just the Pickleball podcast today. We're also doing a little bit of the pregame show. So we have, obviously, Kris Heddings here with us from the Gilbert Gladiators. Kris, tell us a little bit about how you're feeling about tomorrow. I know you're going into a big game. I think your team has a chance to start off on the right foot. Tell us what your mindset is going into this game tomorrow.
My mindset's always the same. Be consistent. Everybody knows that when you play me, you're going to get pretty much the same player. And the consistency also involves helping your teammates be the best player they can be. So kind of my role before they even elected me captain is that's kind of what I do in pickleball, is just kind of help put people in positions to be the best player that they can. And the results usually come when you do those things. So, of course, we're looking for a win. The team we're playing has four really good players, also friends of mine.
Yeah.
But would love to walk away with the victory tomorrow and just play to our potential and get better every day.
So let's break down some of your teams, the Gilbert Gladiators' strengths. We don't have to talk about weaknesses today because you don't want the opponents to know, obviously. But let's just start at the top. You got Steph Ladd. Tell me about her strengths and what you're looking forward to seeing her for tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to see Steph develop, some of her other stuff. But obviously everybody who's been on a court with her knows she has a monster two-handed backhand.
Yeah.
And, I mean, from the baseline, from...
Borderline
halfway,
dangerous. We might need to pay attention to it tomorrow.
Yeah, like someone's going to lose an eye.
Yeah. So let's just keep an eye on that going through the night.
Safety glasses.
No, speaking of that, was it a few weeks ago that I think she drew blood on somebody?
She does. She draws blood consistently.
I believe she ripped a nail off of somebody's finger.
I probably still have a red mark from her blasting me with one the other day.
We love that.
But I know she's got the other parts of the game, and as our practice went along, she started cross-court dinking and middle dinking more efficiently, and I think that's something that will really help us in the mix and in her match in women's.
Absolutely. Okay, then we go over to Vicky Foster. Tell me a little bit about Vicky and where you see her playing a big role tomorrow night.
Vicky's a vet like myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vicky she has all the shots, and she's just really calm. Mm-hmm. Vicky's never too high, too low. She makes some mistakes. She gets over them quick. So I'm hoping that vet mentality kind of helps with the young guys, Michael and Steph. That just no moment's too big.
Yeah.
Just make your shots and there you go.
Yeah. So then let's talk about Michael Hartnagel. He is a highlight reel.
Yes, he is.
Talk to us about him.
Michael has there's a lot of people in this league that have potential, a lot of room to grow, which is insane when you're already good and you have a high ceiling, which Michael does.
Absolutely.
He can move all over the place. He's got power for a little guy.
Yeah.
He's got quick hands. Court positioning is something that he can really help Vicky with too. And he's just an all-around good player. I think his game can even, after something like this, after this whole league, I think his game can even go to the next level.
Absolutely.
So I like working with kids at his age, as you know.
Yeah.
I like working and helping them develop little things. There's so many small things in this game that can make you better. And most of the time, the 18 to 27-year-old guys, they have all the physical skills. They're just missing a few things to put themselves in position to be able to do the things they're good at. I think so many people in pickleball, they want to do what they're good at. Like, let's say they're forehand drive, like myself, right? They just always want to hit a drive. Well, if the return's not there, you got to put yourself in positions. And a lot of people's strengths, well, I got to learn the third. I got to learn resets. I got to learn these things so that I can get to my spots. And anybody knows in sports, the percentage goes up when you get to your spots. Yeah. So anytime you can reset and get back to where, get back to 50-50, and then you can control the point from there on. But, so many people in the lower levels, they just want to do what they're good at. And that's not necessarily what will work in a match.
Yeah.
If you're facing someone like me with good hands, if you're good at speed ups off the bounce, I'm probably not the guy to do that to.
Yeah.
Right?
No, and it's a maturity thing. It's something that everybody starts somewhere. We know OSG started, at the, the Butterfly Pavilion?
It was Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, you started at Chuck E. Cheese.
And then we went to the Butterfly.
Yeah.
That's a big gig to start out with, though. Chuck E. Cheese, are you kidding me?
It was tough. It was tough.
Think about the danger
right in there.
You're in charge of a lot of people that are crazy parents, kids.
Whatever you do, you're wrong.
There's not much that you haven't seen. I mean, these stands are nothing compared to a Chuck E. Cheese parent.
It's almost like on vacation here. Vacation.
I would agree. I would totally agree. So let's go a little bit more into what you've done over the course of the past few days. The doors are looking good. The 8 cameras, solid. How's the net looking?
The net is good. We're still 0.315 on the circumference of the outside of the post, right on top. We're just a little bit above that because of the fabric that goes over, but that kept the tension the same.
Yeah.
So now that the temperature's coming up, we're getting into the 80s this week.
Oh, yeah.
Humidity's coming down, so that may change a little bit. We'll check that right before game time tomorrow.
Good.
And make sure those numbers are where they need to be.
And then have we checked all the tables, all the chairs and everything, making sure they're all 4 legs are working on every single thing?
Yes. And I forgot to mention Monk and Lola. They need to get a treat. Obviously, they're part of the team that got the 5-star rating, so I want them to make sure they get a dog treat.
Just brutal dog
tonight.
Dog.
I mean, it's just amazing. We got microphones checked, all the seatings. We're ready to go for tomorrow night.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. So, Kris, let's go into a little bit more. Well, actually, let's introduce you a little bit first. What are your strengths, and more importantly, what are your weaknesses, so that next time I play you, I can expose those.
I mean, I think everybody who's ever played me knows my weakness is mobility, but that also is a strength because people think middle's open, and I go ahead and swing middle because you'll see what happens. So mobility, obviously my age, but I think I think all that helps feed into my strengths. It helped me develop my other parts of my game, to slow it down, to be a patient player, to bring the game to me. My dinks will bring both opponents towards me a little bit, so that when they attack, I like them to attack me, right?
Absolutely.
So some of my patience has been developed by my limitations.
That's a great way to put it. Kris, you're also known for, we talked about Stephanie Vlad's two-handed backhand. You're known for your forehand. Tell us what kind of ball you're looking for when ball comes over the net. What kind of ball is it that you want to hit with your forehand?
My forehand drive, I have 3 different ones I consider. I have the roller down the line. Like, a lot of people don't go wide, and a lot of people let that ball go. But I want to be moving my left foot cross the middle line and heading that direction to be able to hit that curler down the line. That's one of my better drives. People let them go all the time, and they're in, right? The first couple times you play me, you're like, those are good. Oh, yeah. Those are in. Obviously, my 100-mile-an-hour one where I'm putting it mid-body, not trying to give you any reach. I'm trying to get it up in here on you as hard as I possibly can, and make you make a decision whether it's in or out.
Yeah.
And then the middle drive with the dip, right?
Yep.
The middle drive with the dip is one of the biggest things. You know, you got to pay attention to whether someone's still moving. If they're not in great position yet, take some pace off, add some dip, and you get a lot of pop-ups.
Yeah.
So, but it's what I'm mainly looking for is the return. Where is it? How much spin does it have on it? One of my opponents this week has a ton of backspin on his return. Mikey's backspin is insane.
Yeah.
But sometimes it does help my topspin get more dip on the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for that to see if the bounce elevates a little bit, then I can really put something on it.
Yeah.
And I can keep most of those inbounds no matter how hard I hit it, because it's got so much. His return has so much backspin that it helps my drive.
We got to make sure we put Mikey on notice. You know, he's calling. Mike is telling us that he's the player to watch out here tomorrow night.
Of course he's telling you that.
Is he the player to watch, or are you the player to watch?
Well, I mean, come on, we all know who it is. You know what I mean? As you can see, all the cameras will be on me.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, everyone thinks I weigh 250 pounds, but really it's just all those different cameras on me.
I see what you're saying.
They each
I see
have
what you're
10
saying.
pounds.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to. You guys are gonna end up going up against each other, right? In mixed, and then in men's, and I believe, and you're pairing up obviously with Michael in the Michael Hartnagel in the men's, but who are you playing with in women's?
I'm gonna play with Steph.
Okay, Steph. And,
Yep.
Okay, so are you looking for a lot of those 1-2 shake and bake combos when you're seeing her?
You know, anytime I can get a
backhand?
dink to my forehand, I want to speed it up and then get ready for the counter. You know, the 1-2. But yeah, I'll let her take as many thirds as she wants if her third's on fire, so I can move forward. I just need to make sure that decision's made quickly, and that if I'm hitting it, I need her to go up, and the same thing the other way. But she blasts that two-hand, so I think either way will be fine.
Yeah. Now, we watched the Peoria Pythons have an awesome win last week. They took down the Scottsdale Scorchers. I believe it was 53-50. But a bunch of different things happened in that game. One of the biggest things that I noticed was, Treffry and Michael were able to control the men's game.
Yep.
They were able to play the exact game that they wanted to play that fit their style. How are you going to get them out of their style?
So I'm gonna say go back a little bit. Mikey has multiple styles. He's not just the crazy 100-mile-an-hour player that he was last week.
But he is.
But
also.
Yes.
We like that side of it.
Yeah, we do. I'm just saying that he can do both, and that's this game.
Yeah.
You know, some matches justify doing that, and others make you slow it down. So what I try to do is see what they want to do, and then make them do something else, right?
Yeah.
So if he's really pushing the pace, I want to slow it down, dink behind him, be soft, reset the ball, make him hit multiple shots. Not that he's not capable, he's very capable.
Yeah.
However, what I think Pessa and Caden did is they fed into it. They tried to play his same game, and Mike was on fire. And when someone's on fire, you need to switch it up. I think they tried to beat him at his game. Not that Pessa doesn't have that game too. He absolutely does. But I think they should have cross-court dinked more. I think they should have slowed it down. I think they should have been a little bit more patient and attacked balls eventually that are up.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. So then let's talk about Ryan Treffry a little bit. He was sitting pretty heavy on that big forehand of his, and it was just getting fed a bunch, and he was pounding Caden and Pessa.
That's Ryan's favorite thing, moving forward, hitting that big left hand.
Yep.
For a skinny son of a bitch, he's got some power. And I think it all comes from the gut.
Yeah.
I would know. But yeah, Michael was moving so well and taking over a lot of the court, and it was actually it helped Treff's game, which is sometimes hard to be the guy that's not getting a bunch of balls and the other guy's taking a lot, and you have to make one shot. But I think Ryan played real solid. I think Mike was the aggressor, and sometimes that happens. You play in tournaments sometimes where your partner's the aggressor and you're being more consistent and resetting balls, and I just think that was what was working. And I think that's what I like about this game is these guys saw what was working and they just kept doing it. And I think so many athletes in this sport do not actually look at the fact of what's working. And I think the first match in mix of that thing, I think the Gilbert Gladiators didn't look at what was working over and over and slowing the game down, cross-court dinking, and then putting a ball away.
Oh, I see. Oh, you mean the Scottsdale Scorchers?
Yeah,
we're doing
Scottsdale
that.
Scorchers.
Yeah. You're the Gilbert
Yeah,
Gladiators.
yeah.
Okay, so the other thing I want to point out is that there's going to be a pretty, what I would consider, hopefully, even women's doubles match.
Yep.
Where which side is Steph going to end up playing on?
I think they're going to reverse stack. I'm not 100% sure, but Steph's backhand is so deadly from that other side that they both kind of play inside out if they play their regular sides.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think they're going to reverse stack. I'm not 100% sure of that.
Okay.
Leave that up to them.
Yep.
Until it's not working, and then I'll help if I need to.
Absolutely, yeah. Step in when the captain's needed. No, that's a great point.
Circling back on the spots you were saying, when you guys got together as a team, how did you figure that out? Because you have a left-hander.
Yep.
And you also have a right-hander who's not her favorite shot, but her best shot is
basically a lefty.
Yeah, basically a lefty.
Yeah.
So when you guys got together, how did you determine, okay, I'm going to play, I think I should play with Vicky, or I should play...
Yeah, well, for me, it was the third shot, and then who we were facing. And I knew that Michael was playing with Jess, so I thought that me and Steph, I could slow Michael down maybe, and she can take her time getting up if the third's not great, and all those things. So I think that was the best decision. Plus, I'm not going to lie, age had something to do with it. I didn't want both Vicky and I on the court at the same time. You can get caught in the back a lot against these people that have endless energy and all those things.
Yeah.
So I thought that putting us both on the court sometimes, not just I thought, Mike thought, Mike Givens and Nick Hart and the rest of the players, I think we all came to the conclusion pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, I like that. And you know what?
This is all confidential. We won't tell the opposing teams.
We're not going to tell them any of this stuff. We'll just post it on the internet.
Yeah, on the internet. They're on the line.
So this is up to them to see if they're going to game plan enough and watch it.
And the fact that they're listening right there doesn't matter either.
No, I mean they're not smart enough to listen in.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at Michael right now, and he's definitely not smart.
Yeah,
look at
definitely not. So here's another little interesting fact is that you guys actually hopefully can take momentum from this week and turn it into momentum the next week because you are playing on back-to-back weeks. The Peoria Pythons are currently trying to do that as well, so they're playing on back-to-back weeks. This is being their second. So how can momentum really affect you in this league in general, but because right now the Tempe Tornadoes aren't playing for at least another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, there's going to be some breaks and there's going to be times where you can capitalize on momentum. So how does that work?
For sure. I think they obviously have the advantage this week just playing in the environment.
Yeah.
Obviously helps to know what preparation, timeouts, all the different stuff that you have to deal with a setting like this.
Absolutely.
Anytime you've played once, you know what's going on and you're a little bit more prepared. Obviously, I think my game being, consistent will help with that, because it kind of doesn't matter the environment you're in. I'll calm things down, and hopefully I can continue to do and be the player that I normally am.
Absolutely. And then next week you are going to go against a team that may be the exact opposite situation as you, or as the Peoria Pythons, put it that way. So you will be playing the Surprise Stingers the following week, knowing that they came off of what we might call a pretty bad beatdown the first week. They're going to come off of probably essentially no momentum.
Right.
So it's going to be two completely different next here that we're going to see in the next few weeks of the Orchard. And how does that, hopefully can you carry, regardless of what happens tomorrow, into the next week with positives and carry a little bit of momentum?
So the one thing I would say is it's a sport. Anytime you have momentum, take advantage of it. And, when someone's not playing well, kick them while they're down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's not get it twisted. The Scottsdale team last week underestimated these guys.
Absolutely.
And no doubt about it. And they got their butt kicked for it.
Yes.
And so I don't ever want to do that. I always know that every single match I ever play, no matter who I'm playing, I could lose that match.
Yeah.
So you got to play as if the team that you're playing has the advantage all the time. And you got to have the mentality of being the underdog.
Now, on tomorrow night, the lineup as far as who's going first and who's going second, it's kind of a big deal. Have you guys decided on?
We have. I don't know what the results were after the teams talked. I gave my 2 cents, and my team seemed to agree. I wanted to go. I like to go first to set the tone, but I didn't want such a big gap between matches, so I didn't want to go first and fourth with my body. And you guys know I tore my hamstring a little bit, so it's been a 6 or 7 week recovery. And so the league was also nice enough to bless me and move some weeks around so that I could have more time to rest to be prepared for this next week, which I appreciate that because I wanted this opportunity. But I didn't want to go first and fourth to have that big of a gap between playing so that I would lose, I'd get cold. So I think I'll be playing second and fourth. And I think that's strategy-wise probably the best situation for us.
And then how about the girls? Because one girl's going to have to go back to back.
Yes. I think the girls will be, Steph will have to go back to back. And again, same thing. She's younger, it's just the smarter play.
It works out.
Yep.
It works out.
Yeah. I hopefully, this event's you're not on the court too many hours. All of us play 12, 13 games in a rec day, right? Where you're exhausted by game 12.
Yeah.
So hopefully nobody is not at their full strength. That's another good thing about this format is everybody should be, unless you have an injury, you should be at your best during your match.
Absolutely.
And then one of the things that we had, the GM last week, Amy came on, and we have a tornado. We have a kind of like a stinger. What, just so that we're all safe on this, do the Gladiators have a signature move, so to speak, on a
we're gonna
winner?
We're gonna reveal some stuff. Don't worry. You will be entertained. Let's just say it that way.
Do you want to show it to us now, or
not now? It's got to be in the moment. It's got to be real, right?
So who was it? Dana had the big ol' tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Dana used it the most. I saw Ryan come out with a little bit of the Python.
Yeah. I thought they missed the mark. They should have done.
Yeah, they kind of missed that one. I agree with that.
Make it their own.
Yep. They kind of missed an opportunity
think
here to really of it, but
Ryan's old too,
he hasn't even seen that movie.
Yeah.
So you're gonna reveal that tomorrow. Do you guys have something in mind?
Yeah, we haven't quite rehearsed it all yet, but if you've seen 300, if you've seen Gladiator, if you've seen any of those,
it's gonna be,
what's coming.
Okay, I like it. I'm a fan of those movies, by the way. Now, no swords allowed in the building. We got to keep it safe, right?
Mm-hmm. No swords.
Even foam swords?
No, we can. Foam swords are good. We like foam.
None on the court. None on the court.
Yeah, inside the white lines, we keep a pretty tough. We lock that stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. Kris, can you tell us just a couple things? We need a prediction for tomorrow night from you. And then we also I would like to get a prediction from you for the following week as well, because we will probably have someone on here from the Surprise Stingers next week, since you are on here this week. Can you, because I'm not going to give you a chance to basically rebuttal because you're not going to be here. I need a prediction for both weeks, and I'd like to see if that lines up with what we see next week and what we see tomorrow night.
So, I hate to do predictions because I want to be the guy that talks to you afterwards.
Classic.
You understand what I'm saying there?
Yep,
Okay.
I do.
So you know what happens if I'm the guy that talks to you afterwards.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But the second week, I think, actually this week, our matchup is probably, in my opinion, just on paper, the most equal matchup there is in the league.
Okay.
So it's intriguing to me. I think it's a real equal matchup. I think they have more tournament experience than we do on a couple people. I think we have the advantage in the captain. And I think next week, I think we have the advantage in just being a team that's been there more. So, Nico and Cooper and Susie and Sarah are all good players. But I just think our experience and our skill set will take over, and eventually we'll separate ourselves. But this one, I think I'll be the one sitting here talking.
Needless to say, the Gilbert Gladiators, you're looking as of, what would that date be, like early April, you're hoping to be a 2-0 team, walking in, hopefully putting yourself at the top of the standings, pushing to get into those playoffs.
Yeah, I want the best two teams at the end to play each other, even if that's not us. But I'm planning on that being us.
Yeah.
But I want the best two teams. You want the best product. And to be honest, I want the best for a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys are heck of competitors. And you know me, I like to watch, especially young men develop their games, their mind, prepare them for life and for their next venture when it comes to pickleball.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's very important. I know OSG last week had a young spectator that also is trying to follow in his footsteps. I remember you showing him a few things. Can you tell us, from your opinion, how's it like mentoring the younger generation?
Well, like Kris had mentioned earlier with some of the pickleballers, the younger the age, they're raw, they're green. They have a lot of ambition. They have the agility to get to people when they need to get to them. But sometimes they need some help in certain areas, the finer things, the finer details. So he's getting there.
Yeah. No, that's good. Okay. Well, I have to apologize because today I actually was late.
Very upset.
Yeah. I kind of ruffled some feathers here. And I was lucky that you didn't lock the doors on me. What would happen if a player was late tomorrow?
Well, the doors get locked down.
Yeah,
I mean, when the lights go down and the music comes on, that's it. So I'm not sure how that'd work 2 against 1 on some of those matches, but there is some subbing that could happen.
We know Kris couldn't handle it. Kris couldn't handle the 2v1, right?
Oh, no, that means I would have to cross the middle.
Yeah, no, you're not. You can't do that.
I get one of those a game.
He only has 1 good hamstring right now. He would have 0 after that. Okay, well, is there any final comments, Kris, that you're looking forward to for tomorrow night? We should have a packed house. I'm really looking forward to having everybody come in. Start time looking at 5:48-ish. Anything else that you have for the fans?
Yeah, come out and support. We've got veterans like Treffrey and myself. We have Jess and Takako and Steph and Vicky. We got young up-and-comer Michael, who has a lot of potential, high ceiling when it comes to pro pickleball. Love to see him, developing. And I think this league has a lot of that. And, Ryan will tell you, Ryan was one of the big people who taught me the game. If you get to the level that I play at, pro or whatever you call it, you didn't get there on your own. You got there with some significant help. You met the right people at the right times. You needed to develop your game, because you cannot get better at this game unless you play at a higher level, unless you play people consistently that are better than you. Yes. And everybody knows that's the key to this game. Can I get in a better game? And it's tough in pickleball, because if that gap is too big, it's no good for anybody. But if the gap is narrow enough that you can help them develop, and it's still good for your game. And so I think people can go out and watch this, have a good time, and see some of these veterans and some of these up-and-coming players that probably you'll see for years to come. I'm not going to be alive for years to come, but hopefully I can put my stamp on the game with people like you. Absolutely. You know what I mean? People like you, Mikey, both Michaels, obviously, Nico, and there's plenty other Kyle. Yeah, there's a lot of young talent coming up, and through this league, you guys get to see that.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. Tomorrow's going to be an unbelievable game. I'm excited to call it. I actually am not even quite sure who's going to be sitting next to me tomorrow night. I think that we actually have to still make that decision. But regardless, it's going to be a fun time. You got OSG that's going to be guarding the doors, guarding the food. Probably the food's the most important part to guard.
Yes.
Yeah, can't be letting people take advantage of that. And then, but yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow night. I'm hoping this environment gets going, and I hope we get 2 good teams that are ready to compete. That's really what it comes down to.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that said, the pregame show is coming to an end. Why don't we have OSG take us home?
Well, pickleballers, as you watched last week's game and tomorrow night's game, the serve is becoming an integral part of this game. You have a lot of variety of serves. You have a high, deep serve. You have one maybe down the middle. You have one to the outside. You have a drop serve with maybe some spin on it. And maybe even one that goes up into the rafters and down. But no matter how you do it, that serve needs to get in the box, and that box is 54,864 centimeters. However, those line at the kitchen, you can't touch that. And so really, there's only 54,813 centimeters. So however you serve it, mix it up. Give them some eye candy. And one of my favorite serves is the one that you grunt. Until next time. Good night.
Welcome to the Arizona Pickleball League podcast. Presented by Jigsaw Health.